What if the future of luxury SUVs isn't about power, but about how power disappears? Because right now, two completely different philosophies are colliding: the 2026 BMW X7 and the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach EQS. One represents refined German engineering with combustion at its core. The other is redefining what luxury even feels like in an electric world. So the real question is, are we transitioning or replacing? Let's break this down. The BMW X7 2026 is what you'd expect from a flagship SUV that still believes in mechanical performance. It's powered by either an inline-6 or a V8, pushing up to around 523 horsepower in the M60i. When you see it on screen, notice the proportions: long hood, upright stance, traditional SUV presence. It still looks like a machine built around an engine. Now compare that to the Maybach EQS. The entire design feels inverted. Short front end, smooth curves, almost no visual aggression. That's not just styling, it's a signal. This SUV wasn't built around an engine, it was built around space, and that difference changes everything. In the BMW X7, performance feels layered. You press the throttle, the engine builds, the transmission shifts. It's a sequence, a very refined one, but still a sequence. It hits 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, which is fast, but more importantly, it feels controlled. The Maybach EQS does something else entirely. Around 649 horsepower, dual motors, instant torque, no buildup, no transition, just immediate motion. It's quicker too, about 4.1 seconds, but speed isn't the story. The real difference is how each car delivers that speed. One builds momentum, the other removes resistance, and that becomes even more obvious when you step inside. In the BMW X7, the interior still revolves around the driver. Yes, it's luxurious premium materials, digital displays, ambient lighting, but everything is structured. It's a cockpit first, lounge second. Now look at the Maybach EQS interior. It almost ignores the idea of driving. The seats, the layout, the silence, it's designed to feel like you're being transported, not driving. Even the way the cabin isolates sound changes your perception of speed. You're not just moving fast, you're detached from the idea of moving at all. But here's where things get interesting. The BMW X7 costs around $120,000. The Maybach EQS, around $180,000. So now the question shifts. What exactly are you paying for? Because on paper, the Maybach gives you more power, more advanced tech, and a fully electric platform. But the BMW offers something the Maybach intentionally removes: mechanical engagement, and depending on the driver, that might actually matter more than raw specs. Let's talk about real-world usability. The BMW X7 runs on gas, which means long range, quick refueling, and zero dependency on charging infrastructure. That's not exciting, but it's practical, especially in regions where EV infrastructure is still developing. The Maybach EQS, on the other hand, offers around 300 miles of range. Fast charging gets you from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes, but that still requires planning. It's a different lifestyle, not just a different car. So this isn't just a spec comparison anymore, it's a behavioral shift. Do you want freedom through familiarity or through innovation? And this is where the bigger picture starts to emerge. The BMW X7 represents the peak of something that's been refined for decades. Internal combustion, perfected, smooth, powerful, predictable. The Maybach EQS represents something less stable but potentially more important. A new definition of luxury that prioritizes silence, software, and experience over mechanical identity. But there's a trade-off. When everything becomes effortless, does it become less engaging? That's not a criticism, it's a real question. Because some drivers don't just want to arrive, they want to feel the process. And others, they want the process to disappear entirely. So which one is actually better? It depends on what you think luxury should feel like in 2026. If luxury means control, feedback, and a connection to the machine, the BMW X7 still makes a strong case. If luxury means isolation, effortlessness, and a shift toward digital experience, the Maybach EQS is already there. But here's the part most people overlook. These two vehicles aren't just competing with each other. They're competing for your definition of progress. And that's why this comparison matters more than it seems. If you're into understanding where technology is actually heading, not just what's new, but what it replaces, consider subscribing. That's what we break down here. Because this isn't just about choosing a car. It's about choosing what kind of driving experience survives the next decade. And maybe the better question is, when luxury becomes completely silent, what do we lose along the way? If this comparison made you think differently, share it with someone who's deciding between electric and traditional, because this decision isn't as simple as it looks.